I'm Dr. Biaggi, and this is your Musicology Smackdown. What's more American than apple pie, oil spills, and hating immigrants? Well, I'll tell you. Good old-fashioned homespun American music. And what better time to explore our melodious national treasures than 2 days after July 4th, when children the heartland over are taping back on the fingers they lost, setting off bottle rockets to celebrate the preeminence of the first world country with the highest illiteracy and obesity rates. When slave-owning hypocrite Thomas Jefferson signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776, I'm sure underneath his powdered weave he had no idea that all, meaning white men, being created equal, would lead to our country becoming the most fertile soil for the development of black musical traditions. Sadly, in the 19th century, nerdy white losers started to catch on to the fact that African-American musicians had way more mojo than they did, and they did what seemed like the only sensible thing. They sang and danced in blackface. Now, I don't know about you, but nothing quite screams wild cultural insensitivity than some of the songs that emerged from the minstrel show in the 19th century. Oh, Eyes So Wicked, Sing Sing Darkies, and Sing Roll Out Heave Dat Cotton are only some of the dubious highlights of the blackface minstrel repertoire, which at its time was the most popular form of musical entertainment in this country. Well, okay, we have a lot more in the American musical tradition than Strom Thurmond's favorite ode to Mammy, don't we? All right, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Biaggi, there is way more to American musical history than dead chicks and racism. Absolutely. Let's take bluegrass, for example. What's more American than that? I'll tell you what. Blindness. 9 times out of 10, a bluegrass musician is going to have lost his sight either to an STD he now refers to as the 2 years I spent in Dixie with a whore named LaVonna D., or to a hunting accident involving 15 of his 31 step-siblings. Doc Watson, classic example. The man can play the shit out of the banjo, but he can see you and I about as well as the Republican Party can see everyone's right to health care. That is to say, a whore named LaVonna D. seems to keep getting in the way. But that's neither here nor there, because bluegrass is making a comeback, and you don't even have to be sightless to gleefully claw-hammer away at tunes like Turkey in the Straw, Gold Rush, and Dixie Hoedown. You do, however, need to be blind, or in some other way infirmed, to sing the blues. They say that the most effective blues names are a combination of a malady, a fruit, and a president. I've always been fond of my blues name, Chlamydia Breadfruit Imelda Marcos. But that might explain why my blues career never really took off. Not like Blind Lemon Jefferson or, say, Blind Willie Johnson. Or how about Pegleg Howell, whose middle name probably would have been a fruit too if his amputated leg wasn't the result of a crippling case of diabetes. Now those dudes knew how to sing the blues. And hell, because of guys like them, Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson, bands like the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin ended up using that influence to create some of the most memorable and unique American music that England had ever seen. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I'm ragging on America, now's not really the time. Our troops are fighting overseas. Well, I'd put cold, hard American greenbacks on how many of them are listening to music that was brought here by non-Americans. The blues? Thank Africa. Punk and rock and roll? Thank the English. Salsa? Thank Latin America. Rap? Thank the Chinese. Of course, by rap, I mean totalitarian propaganda remixed to the weird melodic stylings of an erhu. But you get my point. Yes, we came up with country music. But who the hell cares? Hell is yodeling to a slide guitar. Unless it's Dolly Parton, who is, let's face it, kind of awesome. And, fun fact, the most prolific American songwriter to have ever lived, penning something like 10,000 songs in her lifetime so far. But damn if I ain't a sucker for Italian opera, Argentine tango, Icelandic electronica, French 60s folk, and mariachi music on the subway. And guess what? In the grand old US of A, you can pretty much find all that and all the nostalgic, woodsy, traditional stuff too. And where else on earth can you find that? We've had our troubled times as a nation, but let's face it, you wouldn't trade your American passport for anything, not even for a Swiss bank account and a convertible Citroën with a full tank of gas and a driver with nothing to lose. Well, I might, but you wouldn't. So here's to all you undying patriots out there. Yee-haw! And turn it up.